Hello everyone, if you are listening or watching this, I am Alex Rica, and this is my GIS504 project, data collection. Since we talk about potholes in almost all of the Seneca geospatial microcredential classes, I have felt really tempted to make a project about roads in general, because it's not just potholes, it's cracks from the weather, from ice, from a lot of heavy vehicles like buses and trucks. There are so many ways roads can get damaged for so many reasons. You need a lot of attributes to describe them. Now, in the data that I actually made as an example for this project, because a large part of it is a technical report, I did not focus on all those variables. I just focused on one variable, which is the state. And the state I described as is actually a number of things. In the old version, it was just how badly broken it is, but in the new version, I also concluded when was it last paved, and is it new and how usable. So that's actually 2 or 3 variable concepts here. This is a small sample area over in Etobicoke, west side of Toronto. I just picked some roads at random based off memory of how damaged they are. I'm not entirely sure this is true anymore, because I don't go on every single road in the city. I did make a small dashboard here to exemplify that, because I just picked one of every data category. Of course, the pie chart is not terribly meaningful, although it looks very pretty. However, I did add a legend here, so we have relatively intuitive colors as opposed to the the previous color choice I made, which was browns and blacks. It's hard for someone like me with color troubles to see well. But basically, you start from like green is freshly paved, yellowish green is a bit or no issue, and you get to mildly damaged yellow, orange is more, red is really bad, and then brown was kind of an odd now. It's like it's paved, but it's not quite perfectly paved. I didn't really know what color best represents that sort of in-between state that's not that bad, but not really that good either. But I thought, brown beige, it kind of fits. Okay, moving along for time. It's been 2 minutes. I did actually make a field map app. I can't exactly show it to you because I'm recording from a laptop, and I can't, magically switch the recording software and the recording to a phone, unless I was to open up like a phone simulator, but even then it'd probably be longer than I have to present. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'll just show you the data within Map Viewer briefly. So I have the new version and the old version. They both stem from the same data source. They both use the same base layer. So although the legends are different, the information is exactly the same. As you can see, the old legend is a little hard to follow. It has various thicknesses for the lines because I wanted the symbology to vary based on the damage and on the recency of last construction or paving. But I just didn't choose very good colors. They're all too dark to really make much of, except for the red and orange. Everything else just kind of looks like dark brown. Then, of course, I went with the more modern one where it's like a range from purple to green, and then blue is others sort of thin line. I haven't put it down anywhere. I actually was considering removing it, but I thought maybe somebody using the app won't know what to put, so they'll get confused and we should have like a 7th category here. And that's fine, okay? It doesn't hurt to have it. By the way, this number 6 here is not the number of categories, just the number of data, because I have one of each type right now, except for other. 6 goes to 6, but normally it would probably be some very different and probably much larger number. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Of course, my report goes very much more into depth in terms of purpose and usefulness of this. You can imagine the purposes to be like, well, I want to see where we need to prioritize repairing roads, figure out what causes damaged roads. Is it nearby rivers? Is it like a lack of drainage for water? Do we need to fix our sewer systems in the area? Do we have too many bus routes here? Do we have too much proximity to a highway? What frequents more repair? What can we afford? What's closest to our repair sites? And those are all the kinds of questions, and there's many more you can ask with this kind of data. But to really get this done well, of course, you need a lot more than just the small sample I gave here. You need like probably hundreds of data points across the whole city to get something meaningful. But it's a start. It's a good idea, I think. It's a base for something, and I think the city can make use of it. It's sufficient, it's streamlined. I'd be surprised if they aren't already using something like this, and I think they are. Alright, well, thank you for watching and or listening to my presentation. I hope you enjoyed. I hope this inspired you to do similar projects yourself and come up with similar ideas. GIS is a creative tool for good. It's a force for power. And I think it's very fun to work with when you have real-time visual updates like you do with field maps and similar. Again, thank you for watching.